This is why going out at night time is not worth it, because a car can turn a joke into a nightmare. Although everyone was okay, it was a very dangerous situation and it could have gone worse so quickly. I was with my two best friends, who I would literally trust with my life, and it did depend on it. I'm going to call them A and B for the story. There was 3 of us and we were staying at A's house. It's late October, about like 10 p.m-ish. We were bored and we wanted to go out, so we told A's parents that we were going to the corner shop to get some food. We're teenagers, we're obviously not going to the corner shop and we're going to go get food. It's been like 20 minutes and we're just messing around being idiots on the road, like daring each other to do push-ups or like hide in a bush, like the normal teenage stuff. We were supposed to be back there by then because like the corner shop's only a 2-minute walk away. So A's parents called her and said, "Where are you?" And we just said that the corner shop is closed. It's a 24-hour corner shop. I don't know why we came up with that lie, but we said it's closed and we're going to the next nearest one, which is 15 minutes away. Then I had the bright idea to go to our mate's house, who we've never been there before, but we thought we would be able to follow Snap Maps. We were wrong. Snap Maps is not reliable. If you've ever been out at night, you know how like exhilarating it is with like the cold night air, because it was dark, it was cold, it was October, we were feeling like festive for Halloween, so we decided to start freaking each other out, saying, "Oh look, we've seen that car before, we've seen this person before, they're following us, blah blah blah." By now we've reached the corner shop that was 15 minutes away that we said we were going to go to because the first one was closed. We buy a packet of squashies with our £2 because we thought if we turn up to this girl's house and she's not invited us, we can give her a pack of squashies and be on our merry way. But as we're slowly getting lost, me and A, we're like running ahead because I don't know why we were running, we were just running. But B doesn't like running that much, so she stayed behind and was just enjoying her time because it was a quiet road. There was only a couple cars passing every now and then, like there was nothing to worry about. Also, we thought. This is where things start to get really, really messed up so fast. As part of the game we were playing earlier, we were trying to see what cars we could spot over and over, and there was this one car that was circling the block that we were lost in for a little bit. It was this grey BMW, but who are we to say? They probably got lost. I mean, it's dark, like we really didn't think anything of it. And as I was saying, me and A are quite far in front of B. When me and A stop running, we turn around to realise that B has been calling our names, and she looks petrified. Me and A think she's trying to play a joke on us, so we ignore her and we keep running. That sounds like an awful thing, but that's genuinely what we did. But even while we're running, we can still hear B calling our names, so we actually turn around and decide what is going on. The girl who hates running, like literally will avoid it at all costs, starts running. Now we're getting freaked out. And as she's trying to explain it, because she's out of breath because she just ran like the 100-metre sprint to catch up with us, looking absolutely petrified, she couldn't get her words out and we were all trying to listen to her. While we're trying to listen to her, the 50 metres away, this BMW is curb crawling to get like near to us. This girl can't get her words out to save her life, so she turns around and she points at the car. The car stopped. My heart dropped because I knew what she was going to say. I knew what she was going to say. Now this car only stopped for a second, then it started speeding up to like 5 miles an hour compared to its 2 miles an hour of about 5 minutes ago. Now me and my friends, we don't have fight or flight, we have freeze. So we all kind of just stood there a bit confused. Because we like, it's a car, what are they going to do, run us over? No, run the path, like, you get my logic? That is in fact not the case. This car stops right in front of us. Right in front of us. The windows roll down, and I'm not talking about the first one, I'm talking about every single window, like all 4. Only to look inside and it's filled. The car is full. There is 1 woman in the car and 3 men. So there was 2 men in the front and there was 2 in the back. When the windows rolled down, only one of them was talking. The rest of them just stared at us like this. I was I was sweating. It was like 10 degrees and I was sweating. This is when we finally decide maybe we should run. Maybe we should actually leg it, you know? Even Miss Girl B, who doesn't like running, she still ran. She ran fast, and I don't blame her. We were all terrified. We didn't even say one word. We just kept running. This car, we're on a road. They start chasing us, obviously. Now the car's shouting. I'm literally shaking telling the story, but now the car's shouting at us, telling us to get in and stuff, like, where are we going, sweethearts? And we were like, what is going on? Now, not only are we being chased by a car, A's parents are blowing up her phone saying, where are you? It's been an hour. This is not where the corner shop is, because we're on a completely different road. We got lost. Hello? Like... And she's the queen of multitasking, okay? While running, she picks up her phone and she calls her parents. But she doesn't say anything. We're running, of course, we're out of breath. Her dad immediately understood the assignment. Like, he was in his car and he was beelining to her location because she's got a location on. I'm so glad we had our location on. Now we're on a road, they're chasing us, they're shouting at us. It's been about 2 minutes, they're getting closer because obviously we're kids, we're scared, our legs feel like jelly. We found this little alleyway between 2 gardens and we ran for it, straight ran for it. And when we thought we were safe, we stopped because we were like, what the actual hell? Only for A to drop the biggest bomb on us. She just casually says that the game we were playing earlier, trying to freak everyone out, she wasn't kidding. There was actually a car following us, and it was that car, so we could have avoided that so much faster. She also said that when the car was near her at the beginning, when she legged it towards us, that when they rolled down their window, they touched her arm. And I not mean like a little like poke, I mean like a grab. Me and A feel terrible because we've just put her in a really awkward situation because we didn't believe her what actually happened. Okay, now the car's turned around because we can see through this little alleyway thing because they have no way to get to us, and it's surrounded by houses, so we could just hop into someone's garden. We called A's dad back and explained everything in full detail. And if you're wondering if we got the license plate, no we didn't. We're teenagers, we're stupid, we didn't look at the license plate. We did not think of that in our life or death situation. A's dad picks us up, we're finally back home, we give a statement to the police the next day. When we told the police the model of the car, they were like, oh yeah, we've had a couple statements from that same model. Pardon? So if anybody else has had an encounter with a grey BMW, I'm actually praying for you, and I hope you made it out like we did, because that could have gone so terribly. So when I'm saying that don't go out at night, it's not worth it, not when people don't know your location, not when people don't know where you are. If people know where you are, go for it, have fun. But if people don't, and you're not taking the extra precautions to be safe, don't do it. It's not worth it, I promise. It's not.
This isn't really my story to tell, but I was kind of involved in it, and the whole thing has my head messed up, okay? I'm not going to use anybody's real names, so for the sake of the story, we're going to call this person Ava, okay? When I tell you this girl has been through something straight out of a horror movie, but, like, in a way where you're sitting there going, like, no, that sounds like, you know, like, that could actually happen. I'm not exaggerating, because it actually happened. Okay, so here's what happened. Ava lives about 30 minutes from me, okay? We're not best friends, but we talk enough that, like, she'll call me when something weird happens or whatever. So last week, she calls me. It's, like, 11:40 at night, almost midnight. She never calls me, ever. So I see her name pop up, and I'm immediately like, okay, somebody's dying. Like, answer the phone. So I answer. She doesn't even say hello. She just goes, Savannah, I don't know what to do. Something's wrong with my house. So I'm like, okay, like, what do you mean? Like, this thing? Like, open a window, okay? She goes, mind you, she's whispering. She goes, somebody keeps knocking on my bedroom door. I go, okay. Like, somebody's in your house? She goes, no, you know I live alone. Well, okay. Then she says something that, like, really irks my soul, okay? She goes, Sav, it's the exact same knock that my boyfriend used to use when he got home. But her boyfriend passed away a couple years ago, okay? So I stopped, like, breathing. I'm like, I know somebody's got to be in the house, okay? So I'm like, well, maybe, like, the house is settling. Maybe it was your neighbors. No. Ava's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, had this, like, dorky little rhythm that he would use anytime he surprised her. It was, like, 2 quick knocks and 1 knock. So she says that, like, this is exactly what she heard, and now she's freaking out. I'm freaking out. We're both whispering. Like, somebody can hear me on the phone, even though I'm in a completely different... Whatever. I tell her, okay, go into the hallway. Turn your camera on to see if anybody's there. She tells me I can't. Every time I open the door, it stops, and the second I close it, it starts again. At this point, I'm, like, pacing around my own house, like, feral panic mode. She goes, Sav, it's happening again, and I hear it that time. I hear it through the phone. I'm not kidding. Clear as day. 2 taps. Pause. Tap. My whole body locked up for her. I felt cold in places I didn't even know I could get cold. She's crying now. Whispering. She's like, I don't want to look. I don't want to see who's over there. I'm like, I'm trying to stay calm, but, like, I kind of want to cry too because, like, I'm scared. I'm over here. Like, I don't claim whatever you're... Hello? No. Anyway. So, I tell her to put me on speaker so that, like, I can hear everything. And then she goes completely silent. I'm literally like, Ava, she's not answering me. I'm about to grab my keys. I'm about to run to her house. Like, I am ready, okay? Then, out of nowhere, she goes, Savannah, the doorknob moved. You know that feeling? When your stomach just, like, goes straight out your toes into the floor? That, yeah. I hear this, like, metal clinking sound on the phone. Like, someone is, like, jiggling the door handle. Not yanking, not, like, forcing, just, like, seeing if it's working, you know? And she goes, whoever it is, they know that I'm right here. Because, and this is the part that still freaks both of us out, the knocking stops, and somebody whispers her name. Not loud, not aggressive, just fucking creepy. Like, Ava. Which, by the way, is exactly how her boyfriend used to say it when he was trying to get her attention, but obviously louder. He'd go, Ava! Okay, so at this point, I'm like, do not open the door. Don't move. And then what? The call drops. The call drops. It goes dead. Like, she just... And I was like, oh, I called her back. Probably 50 fucking times. Every single time I got the voicemail, she finally texts me when I'm about to call the cops. She says, I'm not home. No explanation. No nothing. She goes offline for like 4 hours. Listen, I've seen in horror movies, you don't just blow up someone's phone when they're hiding from, like, you know, demon, ghost, ex-boyfriend, apparitions, whatever the hell was happening. The next morning she calls me. She swears that when the call dropped, she ran out of her bedroom window and slept in her car at a Walmart parking lot. She refuses to go back inside of that house unless somebody's with her. And the part that keeps me up at night, okay, she went back the next afternoon. There were fingerprints on the outside of her bedroom door, like dirty fingerprints at shoulder height and right next to the doorknob. She checked her cameras. Nobody ever came in the house. Nobody was knocking. Like, there was nobody to see, okay? She has no explanation, and neither do I. I have chills right now.
I'm going to show you guys what entirely convinced me that ghosts are real. I've always believed in them, but I've always been like suspicious just because I've never seen anything myself. But I can't believe I've never shown this on TikTok before. I'm going to show you a photo, but let me give you like a little backstory. So my mom does body painting, basically, where she paints like clothing on models. And back when I lived at home, this was so long ago, I think I was in early high school or something, she had a model over, basically had a mirror set up in our kitchen, and this model had a little BlackBerry phone, and that's how you know it was so long ago. But she had a BlackBerry, and she took a photo of like her in the mirror, like holding it like this. And unfortunately I only have like the cropped in version where you can see like the ghost in the photo. But in the background was like our hallway, and our hallway had nothing in it. There was like some pictures on the wall and stuff like that, but in the hallway you can see like an entire figure, and you can see his shoes, and like he's wearing a top hat, he's holding a baby. And then if you really zoom in and go into detail, like my dad blew it up on the computer, and you can see like more different faces and heads and everything. The photo is not great quality, obviously, because it's from a BlackBerry, but I promise you, let me just show you it and then maybe you'll believe me. All right, I'm gonna try to show you guys this the best I can. This is the model, she's facing a mirror. This is the hallway in the back. Like, there's nothing in this area of the hallway. The photos on the wall are right here, and then it's just like, you know, a hallway to walk through. Here is the man. If you can't see that, like, I don't even know what to say, because that is so blatantly obvious and like there, that there's like a man, his face, he's wearing a top hat that has like a gold buckle on it. And then down below, let me see if I can like move myself. I don't know if you can see it in this crop, the way that it's cropped, but you can also see he has like two shoes on right here. And then if I can zoom into the photo, I feel you guys are gonna all think I'm crazy, but if you zoom into the photo, you can see right here, there's like a little, it looks like a little skeleton, but it's like looks like he's holding a little baby. Like, you can see the mouth and the two eyes. I swear I'm not crazy. This was like the most wild thing ever, seeing this photo and this man right here. Like, you can't tell me there's not a man right there. There's nothing there on the wall in the background. Like, it should be just blank, empty. And the model was convinced that it was like a smudge on the mirror. Like, she didn't want to believe it, but I believe it. So another weird thing that happened after we had seen this photo, like a few weeks or a few months later or something, I came home one day and one of the light bulbs had like burst. Like, it was still screwed in, but the glass had burst, and it was just on the ground, and it looked like someone had swept it into like a perfect little pile. But my sister was the only one home. She was upstairs, and I went upstairs and was like, did you do this? Why did you break the light and not clean it up? And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I didn't hear anything. And this light had literally just like exploded out of the light fixture on the ceiling, and it was like right around the area of where that photo was taken. So I feel like these ghosts or like spirits or whatever you want to call them were just like passing through our house, or maybe they like would pass back and forth. I really don't know. And I never saw anything else after that. I never tried to. I don't know if I'm someone who can really see ghosts. I feel like some people can and some people can't, but that photo in itself, especially because it was in my house taken, convinced me 100%, because I was like, there's no way that a photo could show that. And I feel like old phones could show things like that, like could capture that more than like the newer phones can. Like, I feel like we take photos all the time. I've never seen anything on like my iPhone, but I feel like the older phones, like the Blackberries and things, and maybe because it was like reflected in a mirror, I don't know, call me crazy, but to me that convinced me enough to know for sure that they exist.
Can we show them the older homestead?
Yeah, let's go. As you know.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Was that you?
Yeah, that's on either side.
They went to both.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you guys the craziest experience I ever had. I just feel like I did like a full angle. Sorry, it's the craziest experience I ever had while working the night shift. So I used to work at Ross. Dress for Less. The worst place in the freaking world. Ross, don't sue me. But I worked the night shift. So we would get to work at like 3 o'clock in the morning. If it was like a late start day, maybe 4 o'clock. But at this point, I didn't drive. Thankfully though, my dad also had to be to work pretty early in the morning, so he would just drop me off on his way to work. This didn't fare like super well for me though, because there would be times that he would have to drop me off like 30 to 45 minutes before anyone else would get there. And this Ross was around like some other businesses, but nothing that anyone else would be showing up at this time for work. So this particular day, it's one of those times. He's dropping me off super early. I think it was literally like 40 minutes before anyone else showed up. So he drops me off at the light that's near the Ross. On the corner, I jump out of the car. I have to walk the rest of the way to work. Keep in mind, at 3 o'clock in the morning. So as I'm approaching the Ross, it's pretty dark because there's no lights on the inside until we get into the store. This shopping center doesn't even have any sort of like security or anything. So my plan was to find myself a bench that's right in front of the Ross and just sit there until somebody else got there. As I'm walking up to Ross, I start to see something and I realize that it's somebody already sitting on the bench. So I'm thinking, thank God one of my coworkers is already here. When I get closer, it's a kid and he's sitting there on the bench with his hood over his head. So I sort of instantly think like, oh, he's probably homeless. Like he's probably just resting there. So let me not bother him. So I probably stay like a good, I'm going to say like 50 feet away from him on the other side where the entrance is to like the Ross, because the bench was on closer to the next door over. So I'm just standing there kind of just scrolling through my phone, but this was like pre-social media, so I didn't really have anything to do on it. I was just like scrolling through apps. Suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I feel this person like looking at me, and I could see them. Their hood is up and they're turned toward me. So the second I go to turn and look at them, they look away. And so I'm like thinking like, oh, I probably just like caught them staring at me, whatever. So I go back to my phone. Then they do it again and they're staring at me. And so I'm just trying not to like really pay that much attention because I'm starting to get a little bit nervous because again, I'm out here by myself. But I'm starting to notice that every single time I look away from this person, they turn their attention toward me. Then one of the times that they're staring at me, I turn to go look at them and they don't look away. Keep in mind, it is so dark though. I cannot make any features out about this person. I don't even know if it's like a boy or a girl. So when they're staring at me, I just kind of do the polite little like, but they do not reciprocate anything. They're just staring dead at me. So I'm starting to get scared because by no means was this like a big person, but I'm a small guy myself. So like if I have to fight this person in the middle of the night while I'm just trying to go to work, I don't know what I'm going to do. I figure at this point, like my manager is probably on her way to work anyways. So I go and I try to give her a call. She doesn't answer. So I leave a voicemail saying, hey, I don't really know what to do, but this person is sitting outside of the store and I feel super uncomfortable. What time are you going to get here? But obviously I couldn't do this in front of the person. So I walked away. By the time I came back, they were gone. Literally nowhere to be seen. And I was only gone for maybe 45 seconds. So then I have to just stand there for another 40 minutes while I wait for somebody else to show up. Thankfully, my manager, I think, came a little bit earlier, like maybe 10 minutes. So I was able to go into the store and it'd be fine. But you want to hear the craziest part? I tried to tell her to go and check the security footage. Like, I was like, I need you to see what this person looked like. Tell me why it just so happened to be that night, there is no security footage. We looked and looked and looked. Our cameras just weren't recording, which is unlike anything I had ever seen because those cameras were always recording. So many random things would happen in that parking lot and we'd be like, oh my God, let's go watch the security footage. Somehow it just wasn't recording for that very specific event. So I don't know who I ran into that night, but so many people that I told this story to think it might have been the black-eyed children. And I also kind of think that. So let me know in the comments what you think this was that night. And I will see you guys on the next story. Bye.
It's about time that I share the story with you guys about my crazy neighbor because he's literally he has gone beyond my last straw at this point, like literally beyond my last straw. But I'm just going to tell you guys all of the things that I can remember that he's done over the last however long that are just like absolutely ridiculous to try to get to us and just tell you the things that he's done. So I don't even know how long they've been here, maybe like 3 years. And when they first moved in, I have a RBF face, and I'm shy. Like, first meet me, like, I really am. So I didn't like go greet them or anything, and I guess I just looked mean. And so when they met one of my other neighbor friends, they told her, like, she's a biatch, basically. And she's like, she's actually really nice. Have you tried talking to her? And they were like, no. And she's like, okay. And so that kind of just, like, hearing that just kind of, like, turned me off. Like, I'm not going to want to talk to you after that. My dad is in the criminal justice field, and he knows a lot. So he basically, like, knew who these people were and that they weren't very good people from, like, previous things that he knows that they have been into. And so he told me from the beginning, like, stay away from that guy. And so I listened to my dad. He knows things that most people don't. So, okay, like, I'm not going to be mean to people, but I'm just, like, going to stick to myself like I do. I don't necessarily want to be best friends with everyone around me anyways. I don't think that you should feel like you have to just because you live by people. I want, like, privacy and don't want people just, like, coming in my house all the time. So obviously, like, I have boundaries and I don't want to be best friends with every single one of my neighbors. It's just not the way that I am. If I find some cool ones, great. But anyway, first thing that, like, started everything is his dog bit one of my cats. Literally, like, you could see her bone from her arm, and it took forever to heal. And he completely denied that it happened and said, like, his dog would never leave the yard. And we're like, look at your camera, you can literally see your dog left the freaking yard and bit my cat. Like, I was standing out there with one of my friends when it happened, and, like, we witnessed the entire thing. It was horrible. So yeah, it was one of the worst things ever. And, like, denying it after that, I was just kind of like, that's seriously. So that was, like, a turn off right away. And so after that made me mad. Never apologized. So I just was like, I'm just sticking to myself even more. And then he started, like, watching me. We moved my our gym out to our garage, and he started, like, watching me work out in my garage. And I was just, like, creepy. Like, he would sit in his driveway in his car and, like, be watching me in the mirror in my gym. And I was like, so I literally had to start, like, closing, even on beautiful days, my garage gym door because he was watching me, and I don't like that, obviously. So I stopped letting him watch me in my garage gym, and I think that really sent him over the edge when I did that, because then he started calling the cops on us for everything. So we have a couple cats, and they love to be indoor, outdoor. For 4 years, we've had them. No issues. No issues. What do cats do? Outside cats do absolutely nothing but kill mice for you. You're welcome. So he started calling the cops on all of our cats, basically. And I guess it is illegal to have outside cats, which is weird and kind of ridiculous if you ask me. Anyways, the cop literally this has been 2+ years. He came back last week and was like, yeah, he's, like, got Ring camera footage. Like, he's so sick of it. I'm going to have to fine you guys if this keeps happening. And I'm just like, for what? Like, what is the complaint? Like, that the cat is walking around your yard? I'm so confused. That's just beyond me. I don't love cats, but also, like, my cats are not the only ones in the freaking neighborhood that are outside. Like, my cat has been hanging out with 3 other stray cats. One that looks like her. So I'm like, which even cat are you complaining about? And so it's like, there's a bunch of cats. There's a bunch of stray cats. Like, you don't have a clue if it's my cat or whatever. It's just ridiculous. Like, you can't complain about my cat if you're not going to complain about other people's cats. Like, there's also people who have outside cats in our neighborhood that aren't us. Okay. So that is, like, the most annoying thing, because literally we've had a cop at our house so many times over the past year for sure, and the cops are as sick of it. They have to do something and, like, contact us because it's their job, but they're as sick of it and basically tell us it's ridiculous when they come tell us about it, or call us. And so that's like not even the worst of it all though. It's just the most annoying. But basically he has this freaking truck and trailer that he never uses, but sits at his house all the time. And thank God we're in Minnesota where you can't park on the street during the wintertime, because for 3 months during the summer, granted he has 2 sides of the road over on his area. For 3 months of the summer, he parked that thing in front of our house. In front of our house. Park in front of your house. It got so annoying. He would park purposely under my son's basketball hoop so my son couldn't play basketball for days. Finally, one of our friends went over there and is like, because I'm not speaking to him, was like, please move this. Like, this is not nice. So he kind of did a little bit. Still on our side, back a couple feet. Seriously, at that point, I'm like, Caden, if you hit his car, I don't even care. Like, I'm trying to be nice. And then on top of that, this is the worst part, you guys. This is how petty these people are. Like, Phil finally was like, I'm done and I'm playing back. Like, we weren't even giving into it for a long time. We tried to just ignore it. But this was it. They have 3 vehicles total. They took all 3 of those vehicles. Mind you, my husband has a big work truck, and the guy next to us also like does concrete, and like we're like respectful to him and give him space to like park on that side of us. So my husband had to park literally, like, he has to park his work truck somewhere, and he couldn't park it in our driveway because I left for work in the morning before him, and we have a moving pod because we finished the basement in our driveway too. So there's just no room. So he parked on the side of the road when we could, not in the winter. And so he always parked on like the one side or whatever. Well, this guy and his wife got in on it together and parked all of their vehicles in front of every space in front of our house with that stupid truck and trailer on one side, and then parked both of their other cars so that my husband had nowhere to park. They would cover our area and their area so that my husband had nowhere to park his truck. We're like, what is literally wrong with you? If they took advantage of Phil, my husband, not being home from work, like he's home late most nights from work, so they would purposely, like before he got home, park their car so that he would have nowhere to park when he got home in front of his own house. Like, are you kidding me? That is like just like disgusting human being nature, in my opinion. Like, it was just ridiculous to the point of like, why? I don't know. And I'm like super pregnant during all this, where he's like causing so much stress to, like, I would feel my heart rate increasing because I was just so angry. Like, that's not normal at all. And why do you hate us? Because I've never spoken words to these people. I just kept to myself. I never went to my neighbors like they did and said, oh, she looks like a biatch. Like, why would I want to speak to you after that? My son gets home from school for like an hour before I do because I'm a teacher. And when it was nice out and he was playing basketball after school, the guy would just sit in his garage like this and watch him. Ew, creepy. Dad parked in front of our house one of the times it was open, and he could. And the guy literally stood in his garage and flashed a flashlight into my dad's car. Like, what are you? A creepy dude. Point where I'm like, this has just gone so far, and for what reason? Like, we could have called the cops on him many times for some of the just ridiculous crap that he's done or is doing. And I have a newborn. He's very aware. And it's like, why are you trying to cause a family so much stress? And like, also, why do you have so much time on your hands? Like, maybe actually work or something. I don't know. I don't know. Like, find a hobby that's not me and my family, please and thank you.
What the fuck was that? Bro!
What's going on around you?
I don't know. I'm frozen. I am frozen.
Did the window
Sean.
break?
What does it mean when someone witnesses something spooky, spiritual, paranormal in their home just one time, but nothing ever happens ever again? A follower named Yuen said that she got home from school and she was in her room relaxing, scrolling on TikTok, and out of nowhere she hears the kitchen sink turn on and clearly hears someone washing their hands. Her and her brother would often get home together or at the same time, so she figured that it was her brother. So she is just there scrolling away, and then she thinks of a funny idea. Her and her brother are always pranking each other, doing sibling things, and she's like, I should prank him. So she is slowly going into her dad's room and is waiting for her brother. She's like, he has to pass by here in order to go to his room. So she's hiding there. She clearly hears the water faucet turn off, and then she hears footsteps going towards their hallway. So the footsteps are getting closer, getting louder, and she's ready to pop out, and when she does, there's nobody there. And she's like, okay, this guy's gonna try to scare me. So she's going up and down, going through the rooms, up and down the hallway, going through the whole house. Yeah, nobody's there. What's crazy is that she says that she's never witnessed anything before this and never witnessed anything after this. She knows it's not her imagination because she wasn't asleep. She obviously got up, went to her dad's room, jumped in the hallway to try to scare her brother that wasn't there. So what could this be? This is bizarre because normally when someone tells me a spooky story, or it must have been like something scary that happened at an Airbnb, or something that was continuously happening, not something in their home that just happened one time and never again. What do you guys think? Thank you, Yuen, for sending me your spooky story. If you guys have any stories that you'd like for me to read, please send them via DM or email, and I love to read them, and I will see you guys in the next spooky story. Bye!